Baseball players, if your coach ever says use your legs more when you're swinging and you don't know what that means, well, let's learn together. So when coaches say to use your legs properly, more than likely when you're swinging and you come up, not utilizing your entire legs. The bulk of your strength is going to be really generated from your legs. That is where all the power really is coming from. So when coaches say use your legs properly, this is what they mean. They mean to sink a little bit more into your legs the entire swing. So obviously when you're getting into your stance, you can start straight up if you wanted to. I don't really care. More important, when the pitch is going to be delivered, to make sure to sink into your hips, utilize your legs, stride, and then making sure that your hips stay at a level height the entire time through your swing. Obviously when you're swinging and you stride and you see the pitch and you immediately start to bring up those hips, changing not only your eye level, but then also limiting the amount of power that you're able to generate from your back leg and both of your legs combined. So if you're a pitcher, you can obviously see this from the front angle. When they raise up, they usually go to their toes on their back foot and then finish almost like a golfer would. This is not what we need to be doing. Again, we're making sure that we sit into our legs a little bit more. So what this is gonna look like, it's gonna be like you're sitting down in a chair. You're going to be sitting down, engaging your quads, your hamstrings. You're also going to be able to generate power from your hips when you stride and drive the ball when it's hit into the zone. Another important aspect is making sure you get correct knee drive when you're swinging. Correct knee drive is going to look something like this, where your knee is going to be almost at a 90-degree angle after you finish your swing. Ideally, we want to hold our swings, especially if we're working in the cages or any type of front flip or even on the field during BP. That good knee bend is going to be able to generate a good amount of power so you can hit the ball far. Another key element is making sure that we're using our feet properly. Let me explain what that means. So right now, I'm going to step on the plate just for an easy example. So if we're using our feet, it's important to make sure when we're knee driving, this is only during the knee drive during the sequence of your swing, we want to make sure that we're using the inside part of our foot. So obviously if we're too much on our toes, we're going to just basically spin, and that's not going to be generating a lot of force towards the pitcher. Ideally, if we think about creating a line on the inside part of our entire foot and basically pushing off that way, where our knee naturally is going to go inside of our foot, that's the best way to be able to generate a ton of power directly to the pitcher. Obviously, we don't want to be too much on our heels where we're pushing out that way. Probably going to create us to step out of the ball. And we also don't want to be too much on our toes where we're going like that and finishing high, not utilizing your entire legs. So again, if there's a straight line right here on our inside of our foot, we want to make sure we're pushing against, kind of like how pitchers would push off the rubber. That's the same thing during our swing. We want to make sure we're right there, and that's going to be able to maximize the total force we apply to the ground. So like I just mentioned, if we draw that inside line on the inside of our foot and we're driving inside, see how that knee automatically collapses inside of our body? That's good. We want to do that after we stride, and that's going to be part of the sequence of our swing. Nowadays, the scissor kick is something that's really important that a lot of people like to teach, but I honestly want to stay away from that too much. Nowadays, a lot of people talk about the scissor kick, which is basically when you stride and you come out that way. Yes, this is an important factor into your swing and part of the kinetic sequence during your swing, but it's not as important as a lot of people think. See, that scissor is basically when your body rotates at such a high level that naturally, if you're on the inside of your foot, it's going to naturally kick out just a little bit. There's some people that do it a lot, and there's some people that don't do it at all. Just thinking off the top of my head, an Albert Pujols would stay right here and finish on his toe and be directly in line with the pitcher. There's a buddy of mine, Kevin Smith, who's with the Athletics. He does a really good job scissor kicking, and that works for him. There's no one way to hit, guys. Again, if we draw a line on that inside part of our foot, we're able to drive towards the pitcher while also rotating and finishing our swing, utilizing the lower half of our body. If you like this type of video, make sure to shoot us a follow, like, and comment what you want to see more of. Now let's get back to the video. Another thing I forgot to mention is the use of force plates. So obviously force plates are a lot of money, and only usually professional teams have them. The important factor is to be able to see a visual graph of where your force is being applied on your foot. Force plates are an incredible piece of technology. I've been fortunate enough to be able to use them a couple of times. It's been really cool to be able to see and pinpoint a direct point on where you're generating the most amount of power coming from your foot, obviously. Hitting specialists will be able to see this and optimize your swing and optimize the amount of force you're applying into the ground, in turn generating more power into your swing. There you have it. Now you know how to properly use your legs while hitting. And if you want to take your game to the next level, learn from me at the Mendoza Baseball Academy today.